98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.
Adrian.
Yes.
Waiter, there is a whinging child spoiling my soup. You're supposed to ask me, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
what are you talking about? Sorry, it's just you touch on a nerve that does my head in.
Okay, this is a story in the Mail newspaper today, and we want to get your opinions on this. I know a lot of people are very vexed about it. That means angry, by the way. It's an article that says that 3/4 of diners, these are people who eat in restaurants, believe that parents should leave a restaurant if their children start whinging or crying and won't stop. This is a survey that was brought out by the taste.ie into people's eating habits. The vast majority of people who eat in restaurants believe that if a child is whinging or crying, they should be taken from the restaurant by their parents.
And so say all of us.
Well, no, we don't all say that.
Okay, so say me.
Okay, so say one person.
Okay, my pet hate is being in a restaurant. Only happened 2 weeks ago, and there's a child incessantly crying.
Do you ever cook at home?
The odd time. There's a child incessantly crying, and the parents just didn't even seem to notice. They were just so relaxed. They were just sitting there eating their dinner.
And what noise was the child making?
That was what I was making.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
It was just so annoying. And I can't for the life of me understand how the parents didn't pick the child up, walk out the door, try and calm him down and come back again.
Okay, we want to do our own Dublin Talks 98FM survey and find out how you feel about this. I think you'll be a bit more different than the people in this survey. How do you feel? What do you think should be done when a child starts crying in a restaurant? Okay, do you think the parents should drag the child out of the restaurant or just let the child cry? Because let's be honest, okay, here's my thing. I'll be banging this drum till the day I die. I'm all for kids, okay? Kids should be seen and heard. Children cry. We all do.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Children cry.
Yeah, there's a time and place for crying though.
Is it really, if you're sitting in Nando's, okay, enjoying your chicken, yeah?
Yep.
And at the table beside you, there is a child crying. Is that really going to ruin your Nando's?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does, because the crying goes through your brain. Especially when it's not your child, it's even more annoying.
A cry's a cry.
No, it's just it goes through your brain. You pay good money to go and eat in a restaurant or whatever, and to have to sit there.
So is it an alien or a child? What sort of child?
That's what it sounds like to me, though.
Okay, we'd love to hear from you. Text or WhatsApp 0877 98 98 98. Should children who are crying in restaurants, should they be basically thrown out of the restaurant and
nobody's saying throw them out
and tied to a lamppost on the?
No, nobody's saying that. Parents should have respect for other people in the restaurant and take their child out when the child is screaming.
Every child cries.
I know that. Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying they shouldn't cry. I'm saying if they are crying, take them out of the restaurant. Just calm them down outside, because other people are paying good money to eat there as well. I absolutely and honestly can't stand when I hear crying kids in restaurants.
So you're having a conversation with your missus, yeah?
Yeah.
You're having a conversation.
And in the background, I'm just listen. Well, no, that's a very calm cry.
Yeah,
now.
That's quite calm. Yeah. Okay, I think
that wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Oh, would it not?
No.
Okay,
no.
I think we can do better than that. Okay, so yeah. That a bit more dramatic, isn't it? Now, hang on, I could easily eat my lunch while that's going on in the background.
No. I've a headache already. Francis, you're with me on this. Crying children out.
Actually, why not just put muzzles on them then?
Not a bad idea when they're in a restaurant, yeah.
When I'm paying money to eat, I don't want incessant whinging and crying. And the problem is that the parents do tend to, they're trying to plumb off them and they're trying to cajole them into being quiet. And more times than enough, it just irritates the child more and the screaming gets louder. Bring the child out, calm the child, and then come back in.
I agree with you 100%. So, okay, Jeremy, let's imagine you're out for a meal with little Dixon.
I can't imagine that because we can't afford to eat out.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
I'm going to have to stretch things.
But okay, you're one meal a year out, yeah?
To Nando's.
And you're in a restaurant and little Dixon starts throwing a hissy fit and starts crying, screaming the house down.
Yeah, so here he is, he's in the restaurant and
Yeah. Because he wants his ice cream and you said no, and he starts throwing a complete and utter hissy fit. Are you just going to leave them there?
Absolutely. I wouldn't leave a restaurant for anyone. No.
Well, I would complain to the management.
Yeah, so would I. I have done.
Do you have children yourself, Francis?
Well, they're grown up now.
Yeah, you see, that's the typical attitude
But
of
no,
you.
hold on.
No.
I used to bring my child away on holiday, and we used to be in the restaurant. We used to go into the restaurant first, just as it opened.
Yep.
And we would leave kind of, once a child gets past the starters, they've had enough. And then you're trying to subject them to having a full meal with dessert. And all they want is just to get in and get out. You can't, it's not really a place for a child, because more times than enough, when they are crying like that, it's not because they're distressed.
They're bored out of their tree.
They're bored and they want out.
Well, that's up to the parents to actually get off their phones when they're in the restaurant. Stop texting on your phone or checking WhatsApp.
Restaurants are boring for kids anyway. A child sits down to eat their dinner.
My child never cries in a restaurant. Never cries.
Yeah, he's the perfect child.
You know why, Francis? Because before we go to, on the one occasion a year we go to a restaurant, we bring along colouring books for him or sticker books and stuff like that.
That's just proof of how boring it is for them.
But the point I'm making, Francis, is your attitude and the attitude of my learned friend Adrian is the attitude of people who have kids growing up. Oh, how you forget what your own kids were like.
No, it's absolutely not.
We would have had courtesy, and we would.
Yes, when my kids were younger, and they started crying, I would have taken them out of a restaurant.
Of course, you, Adrian, your kids never cried. You the best kids.
I would have better manners and better courtesy than to subject the other diners to
absolutely.
that.
And when my kids were younger, if they were crying in a place like that, I would take them out straight away, because I wouldn't. It's not fair on other people.
It's a cry.
It's not fair.
Sorry,
can I just tell you, by the way, looking at the messages coming in, you are totally in a minority. Everybody wants crying children taken out of restaurants.
Adrian, you know what?
Not one person agreeing with you.
It's a story of my life that I'm in the minority. I've been in the minority a lot lately.
I'm
always in the minority. I haven't been. When was the last time I was in the majority? When was the last time I agreed with what the majority says? Can you tell me?
No,
tell me.
No, I can't.
Years ago, wasn't it?
Joanna. Now, Joanna, you also believe that it is unfair on other diners to be subjected to a crying child.
I do. And you know what? I eat out regularly with my kids, and we go to nice restaurants or whatever. But when they start whining and everything, you can kind of feel everyone's eyes on you.
Yeah, but
so you kind of feel like embarrassed. I better get them out of here for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Joanna, give me hope, Joanna. What do you care?
I've never heard that before.
No, but I do. Like I bring books as well, and whatever I can. But because they're only kids, they get bored. Like
that's exactly the point. And the fact, it's the fact that you have to bring colouring books to entertain them in a restaurant.
I think you should just eat your meal and just
go.
And get out, and there's no need to be sitting there having starters and desserts. Just go in and have a nice meal and just
eat, shoot and leave.
Sorry, who?
You can feel everybody looking at you.
No, I'm sorry.
And you know what as well? Like people, they work hard all week, and if they want to go out and eat in peace and spend good money, they don't need to listen to other people's kids.
Exactly.
When they probably left their own kids at home just to get away from them.
Okay, can I just tell you, Jeremy?
Sorry, Joanne, I need to pull you up on a point there.
Which
okay,
is?
You made a very controversial issue, and I can't let it go unchallenged on this show. You said people should go to restaurants and never order dessert. I'm sorry.
Well, what I mean is maybe order one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, both. It has to be starter and dessert. You can't
You're not going to enjoy it if your kid is screaming its head off. I mean, how could you sit there and actually stuff your face and your poor child is sitting there going...
Okay. So the bottom line is, if little Dixon throws a hissy fit...
He never does, because we keep him entertained. But what I think restaurants should do now is they should provide masks. Remember the one like Hannibal Lecter was wearing in Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Remember where he was only able to go... Remember that mask he had on him? The mask.
Yeah.
Restaurants should now provide Hannibal Lecter masks so that children can't make any noise.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea.
And you have all the little kids going around.
Heather, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Heather?
Hey, yeah. No, I think if there's a kids menu and kids start crying, like, the kids are welcome in the restaurant.
Give that woman a round of applause. Yeah, I agree with you, Heather. Well said.
Okay, Heather.
You obviously have...
I was about to say, you obviously have young kids.
And I girls are one.
Yeah.
And when I'm in a restaurant and I decide to treat my kids and I treat myself to go out for a meal,
lovely.
I can't turn around and say to my 6-year-old, my 1-year-old twin girls, not to cry.
Yeah. Okay, but if they start crying,
I do my best to deal with it.
And if they're still not, sorry, you what?
I whip out my bag of tricks, put her in books, blocks.
Right,
pies,
but
snacks.
if they continue to cry, will you take them out of the restaurant?
No, I won't. I
You see,
pay
that
like
does
every
my
other
head
person.
in. Well, let me read
Let's
this
hope
message
you're not.
in.
See, personally, if it was doing your head in and I knew it was making
you'd make
I'd ask you, do you want to come over and help? I'd give you the child.
Okay,
if you want to.
here's a message. My husband and I work very hard for our money.
Oh.
If we're out for a treat...
Sorry, can I just
let's
stop you there? Who doesn't work hard for the money? I hate people
some
that say
people
that.
have great jobs. They just do shag all. They do nothing.
Why are you looking at me when you said that?
My husband and I work very hard for our money. If we're out for a treat, if my child cries, it's none of anybody's business.
Yep.
I don't give a damn what others think.
Yeah, I'm the only one dealing with my child.
Well said, Heather. I agree with you completely. I mean, what we should do, Heather, the next time we're out in a restaurant and we're sitting beside Adrian, we should pinch our kids to make them cry really loudly, just to annoy Adrian.
Well, can I just tell you, by the way, you're both in a minority.
I'm always in the minority.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I am.
I know.
That's where I like to be.
You need to start a stuck-up menu for people that are going to complain.
Okay.
Or maybe people like Adrian and his wife could actually cook in their own kitchen once or twice, Heather. Solve
That'd
all
be
the problems.
perfect.
Yeah, that'd solve all the problems.
No, I don't want to.
Save all of us.
Does your missus even know how to use the cooker in your
Of
house?
course she does.
Let's say he's the type of person that sits there judging someone because their child was crying.
Somebody says, there seems to be a complete anti-children sentiment in this country of late.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. Do you really want to go there?
And here's another one.
Sorry, was that all the text said?
That's all the text said.
Okay, yeah.
A restaurant is no place for any child under 6 or 7.
Hello.
Just let me read it. They get bored, disinterested, restless, narky, and it's not their fault. Get a takeaway or go to a fast food restaurant. Do your kids are not left waiting without knowing what's going on.
Sorry, to that person who texted in, just 2 points for you before I leave this
Learn how to
studio.
write a text properly.
Learn how to write a text properly. And secondly, I work hard for my money. I work very damn hard for my money.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away, okay? I don't want to take away. I want to go to a nice eatery, yeah? I want to have starter, main course and dessert, yes? My child doesn't cry.
Well, then this doesn't apply to you.
But telling a child not to cry is like telling a cat not to lick itself clean. You just can't do it. Thank you, I've said it all. I'm in the minority.
Where do you eat?
What?
Nando's. That's me not going to Nando's anymore.
Wait, you don't go to Nando's?
I have regularly. Yeah.
Do you go hot or medium?
Hot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, medium.
This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian.